Imagine this. A single raisin, just one, offered freely to a child who has almost nothing. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, when things get really tough, what actually keeps hope alive? What keeps people connected?
It's a powerful question, and today we're looking into that through Frank McCourt's memoir, Angela's Ashes.
Yeah, a really unforgettable book. And our approach today, digging into these themes of resilience and connection, is actually inspired by some of the great analyses over on the YouTube channel, Mindful Moments.
They use AI for some really insightful book analysis over there. It definitely encourages you to think more deeply.
It does. So Angela's Ashes, it paints this picture of Limerick, Ireland, and a bit of Brooklyn during some very, very hard times.
Incredibly hard times. You see so much poverty, loss, but somehow also this amazing strength, this resilience, and these little flashes of human kindness that just shine through. Maybe we should start right at the beginning, with Angela McCourt's own arrival.
Okay, yeah. Her birth in Limerick on New Year's Eve. That was quite something, wasn't it?
Yep.
Not just a family event, but happening right as the whole city's celebrating.
Exactly. The book describes this difficult birth, prayers to St. Anne, and then St. Jude, the patron saint of hopeless cases, which feels significant.
Oof, yeah.
And she's born right at midnight amidst all the noise and celebration. It kind of sets the stage, doesn't it? This contrast between private struggle and public, well, maybe not joy, but activity.
It really does. And that chaotic start almost seems to foreshadow everything that follows the back and forth between America and Limerick, the instability, especially with the father, Malachi.
Yes, his struggles are central. You see these stark contrasts. When he is working, he can be cheerful, pay off a bit of debt, sing songs.
Right, those moments of relative normality.
But they're so fleeting. Then comes the unemployment, the drinking, and the family is left with what? Bread and tea for dinner on payday.
It's heartbreaking,
Yeah.
the kids having to go search the pubs for him.
It really underscores how fragile everything was for them. Just constant uncertainty.
And even within the family. Amidst all that pressure, there are still these attempts at connection, but also conflict.
Oh, absolutely. Like the whole accusation involving Freddie, it shows the tensions, but you also see them trying to patch things up sometimes. And the parents, they had quite different ideas about discipline, didn't they?
Yeah, adding another layer of complexity.
But what's remarkable is that the family bonds somehow seem to endure despite it all.
And they weren't entirely alone. The kindness from the wider community, or even just individuals, seems so important, like Mrs. Leibowitz.
Ah, yes. Their Jewish neighbor in Brooklyn, her offering the kids food, a safe place. It's such a powerful example of compassion just cutting across any cultural or religious differences.
A real counterpoint to all the hardship.
Exactly. It shows that basic human decency can exist, even when times are incredibly tough.
And their own extended family in Limerick played a huge role too, right?
Definitely. Grandma, Aunt Aggie, Uncle Pat Keating, they were lifelines. Providing the bus fare to Dublin when things got desperate, giving them a place to stay when they were evicted.
It highlights how crucial that kind of kinship, that mutual support, really was for survival.
Absolutely essential.
Even thinking about that time in the Dublin police barracks. You wouldn't expect kindness there, maybe.
No, but the guards giving the children tea and rid. It's such a small thing, but so poignant. It's a reminder that humanity can pop up in the most unexpected corners.
These little moments, they must have fueled their ability to just keep going. Angela's own resourcefulness is incredible.
Oh, absolutely. Her determination, like scavenging for bits of coal down on the dock road just to keep a fire going, it's a stark picture of a mother doing whatever it takes.
And the kids, despite everything, they still had hopes. School seems to represent some of that.
Yes, even the free lunch program, as meager as it was, the frozen milk, sometimes missing raisins.
Oh, yeah.
It was still something, an opportunity. And the schoolmasters, a unique way of teaching about Holy Communion. It shows people adapting, making do. Frankie's first communion itself is presented as this big, hopeful milestone.
And ma'am, Angela, she held on to dreams too, didn't she? Thinking about England.
Yes, dreaming of a better life there. Even though it seemed dangerous or uncertain, it shows that deep desire for stability, for something better for her children. And Patty, the brother, trying to work over there and send money back. It's all part of that collective family effort, that hope.
For Frankie specifically, books became so important. A refuge.
A huge refuge. Reading wasn't just killing time for him. It was a real escape, wasn't it? A way to see other possibilities, other worlds. And it's through digging into stories like this, like the kind of analysis we appreciate from places like Mindful Moments or try to do in our own discussions here, that we really get the depth of that human need for, well, solace and something to aspire to.
That makes sense. And his interest in different kinds of books is telling, too.
Right. He mentions the contrast between, silly English books and stories about Irish rebels. You see his identity forming, this searching for meaning. And then you have someone like Mr. O'Halloran, the teacher.
Oh, yeah, encouraging independent thought.
Exactly. Emphasizing education, not just as facts, but as a way to think for yourself. That idea seems to really fuel Frankie's own resilience.
But we can't just focus on the resilience without acknowledging the sheer weight of the hardship, the losses.
No, absolutely not. The deaths of the younger siblings, Margaret, Oliver, Eugene, are just devastating.
They cast such a shadow.
It really brings home the fragility of life back then, especially for the poor. The constant threat of illness, the grief, it's palpable.
And layer it on top of the poverty and illness were things like prejudice, social stigma.
It's not always overt, but you feel it. That sense of being marginalized, looked down upon, it adds to the burden. You see Frankie grappling with it internally, too, his moral struggles, going to confession.
Trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah. And through it all, there's the constant backdrop of his father's unreliability.
Those broken promises, that cycle of hope followed by disappointment.
It creates this deep instability, doesn't it? It forces the children to grow up fast, to confront how precarious everything is. It certainly tempers any hope they might have for real security.
It's such a complex picture of survival.
Yeah.
When you boil it down, it really emphasizes resilience, the power of small kindnesses, and just the endurance of the human spirit.
It really does. McCourt takes these experiences, which are often bleak, but finds the humanity within them. The importance of connection, even fleeting ones, shines through.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Think about your own life for a second. What are your sources of strengths? What are those moments of connection, big or small, that have helped you through tough times?
That's a good reflection. And how those individual acts of resilience, maybe your own or ones you've witnessed, how do they ripple out? How do they affect others?
Definitely something to ponder.
And if this discussion resonated with you today, please do subscribe for more analyses like this. Share it with someone you think might find it valuable.
Yeah, and if you're interested, you can find links to purchase Angela's Ashes and also to check out the Mindful Moments YouTube channel in our show notes.
Absolutely. And most importantly, just keep thinking critically about the stories we read and hear, the ones that shape how we understand ourselves and the world around us.